We can understand ourselves on such a deeper level when we understand our past lives, if that is something that shows up for you to be known and to be heard. For some people, past lives are something that they seem very, very interested in and very drawn to. That is something that should be looked into and should be uncovered and really truly seen, because oftentimes when there is an inclination for us to get to know our past lives on a deeper, more comprehensive level, then that can help us understand ourselves and our life paths and our paths to our purpose and our deepest fulfillment in this life. Yet, for some people, past lives aren't something that gets brought to light, or gets brought to light way later on in life, or gets stumbled into our lives by accident. And so, if you feel the call to understand yourself on a deeper level with the power of remembering and re experiencing the lives previous to this one, then it may be your calling to do so and to deeper understand yourself in that way. And when we understand our past lives and everything that came with them, and the experiences that we had, and the challenges that we've had in our lives previous to this one, we can understand why we are the way that we are on a much deeper level. So if there are things in your childhood or your current reality that don't line up to how you were treated in childhood, or kind of don't make complete sense, or if there's something that keeps showing up for you that it seems like no matter what you try to do, you just can't shake it. Like, some people may have a very strong fear of drowning or flying in an airplane or whatnot. And sometimes those can be due to childhood circumstances or circumstances in previous parts of this life. But there are other times when we can't seem to shake certain things that can actually be due to our past life experiences. And in my own past life experience, I began to understand why there was this deep inner loneliness I felt ever since I was a child. And for a long time, I didn't understand this. And I grew up with siblings, and there was some family around. It wasn't the perfect household, but there were lots of people around a lot of the time. But there was this deep inner feeling that I felt so deeply alone, and I felt like I was missing someone or something. And it was a very interesting thing to grasp at. And I can understand how that connection can be related to my childhood. That during my childhood, I didn't have a father figure around. And so that was definitely correlated to that. But there was something deeper within this. And a few years ago, I got introduced to past life regression work. And as I then later did this work on myself and now do this work on other people, I understood that the reason why I was feeling this deep inner loneliness all of my life, and this ultra independence, and constantly wanting to just fend for myself, but deeply not really wanting that, but this this hyper masculine energy that I was exuding growing up, that was partially due to the fact where a lot of the lives I had in the past that I remembered through this regression work were lives where I was primarily alone without a family and didn't have many connections around. And it was always this deep inner loneliness that I wanted a family. I wanted people around. I wanted community, but I never really had it. And so I suppressed the want and the need and desire for that. And so I saw this showing up in my current life as this hyper independence and that kind of energy. And so oftentimes when there are these past life remembrance of, for example, this deep inner loneliness that I experienced in those lives, it can kind of tap into what we are really needing in order to feel deep fulfillment in this current reality. So, in my example, community and people and connections and friendship and relationship and family is something that is so deeply important, and I feel as deeply fulfilling for my life's path and my life's purpose. And so we can actually use these past life remembrances as keys to deeply understanding where we're headed to our paths of deep fulfillment and experiencing life in a way that is going to truly make us feel happy and satisfied. And as well, our past life stuff can also show up as our childhood stuff. So, for example, all of those remembrances and experiences of me in my past lives being alone and being ultra independent and whatnot manifested as, I believe, my father not being around and feeling a lot of this loneliness from both of my parents being absent a lot of the time. And so, because of these past lives and because of my soul's journey and whatnot, that kept getting reaffirmed as a child and then kept getting reaffirmed in my reality as an adult and this hyper independence. And so these past life patterns can be directly correlated with our current life trajectory. And so if we feel the calling to remember, then we can go ahead and actually understand why all this stuff is happening and what we can do about it. And when we have this past life and childhood life belief, this deep embedded subconscious belief in our soul that, for example, I'm alone, there's not anyone to support me. And if we have this deep embedded childhood and past life wound that we are alone and we don't have any support, then that deeply ingrained belief will manifest more in our reality. And so that is why it's so important to incorporate subconscious work, deeply change the way we think, feel, and act and be in this life. Because when we do all of that, we're able to truly tap into our purpose and what we're here to accomplish. And when we go into our subconscious and have conversations that rewrite those old events and rewrite them as what we truly want and truly desire in this life. For example, instead of being alone and unsupported, being in a community and having family and feeling that sort of support, and instead of feeling the negative affirmations, the negative beliefs and self-concept that, for example, we're unsupported, there's no one around us, we can't ask for help. And instead of following those deeply embedded beliefs that aren't our true selves, that we're unsupported, that we don't have community around us, that we're unwanted, that we're abandoned, and whatnot. Instead, shifting over those beliefs and embedding those beliefs that we are supported, that we have community, and that we are inherently loved. And when we're able to shift these beliefs, we're able to shift our self concept. And when we shift our self concept, we're able to transform the reality that we're in. And when we're able to do that on a deep subconscious soul level, it's so much deeper than just remembering and repeating specific affirmations, because when we go into being and acting and living as though we are the embodiment of deep fulfillment and being supported and to be loved and to love, then we're able to fully grasp and live a life that we truly desire and that makes us feel our most authentic selves, which is different for everyone. All of our past lives hold keys to deeply understanding ourselves and our purpose in this life. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's video. I make videos every single Tuesday, and I look forward to speaking with you again. Bye.